Tomorrow marks 1 year since Hurricane Helene swept through our area, leaving behind damage, disruption, and lessons we're still learning today. Recovery is still underway, and while much progress has been made, there's still much to do.
That's right. Joining us again this morning is Shawn Granato. He's Columbia County EMA Director, to reflect on last year's storm, all the progress that we've made in the area, and how families can better prepare for the future. And good to see you again, Shawn. Thanks for coming back out.
Good to see y'all. I appreciate y'all having me. You know, you had all this joy and all this fundraiser stuff.
Yeah.
And then here comes doom and gloom to talk about what we've done for the past.
That's only what we call you behind the scenes.
So important information here.
Honestly, I remember a year ago, you were on just a few weeks before Helene hit, and we were talking about Preparedness Month,
yes, sir.
Hurricane Preparedness Month, and then boom, the lights went out in Georgia,
yes.
Literally.
Yes.
Where are we at a year from now?
Well,
I mean, a year from a year ago.
Today, with all the storms out there dancing around, we're suffering from PTSD, hoping that something doesn't strike up. We're getting so many phone calls and everything. But, you know, I say it like this. For those of us that have lived here for a long time, you're never going to see what we had before. You know, North Augusta, Columbia County, everywhere has changed. The landscape has changed. The trees are gone. But for somebody that is new to Columbia County, new to the CSRA, I think everybody's done a heck of a job cleaning up. You can see it. It looks like nothing happened, you know, for the most part. We still have buildings that we're, you know, having to repair, and I know that there's still folks out there that need some help with the debris that they still have left over. But we picked up, you know, I know if you remember the ice storm, 540,000 cubic yards of debris. We picked up 5.3 million in Columbia County alone.
Wow.
Amazing.
It's unreal. The numbers are unfathomable.
People are working around the clock to still make sure that stuff is getting done. And it may seem like it is done, but what other kind of things have been ongoing that need to be addressed?
Well, a lot of the piece is messaging. You know, the boys and girls, especially at Columbia County, are all still doing the work to clean up and, you know, cleaning up the streams and doing a lot of the work. But what we're trying to do is make sure that we get reimbursed for that. Columbia County right now is, I'm not saying in the hole, but we've spent about $83 million to recover for this. And it's our team's job at emergency management to make sure that all the paperwork was done. We have 147,000 line items of force account, labor, material, and equipment, all the stuff that we used to repair. We have like 7,000 invoices, 11,000 work orders. All of that has to be packaged together and to give to FEMA so we can get reimbursed. And so far, we've only got about $24 million. Talk about the slowness of the government. We still have a way to go. We have the federal government and the state government through which to go, and it's a long process.
What kind of lessons do you think we have learned as a whole CSRA since Helene a year ago?
Well, I always maintain that we're very proud to maintain that perpetual state of readiness. But there are so many people calling and saying, well, this failed at my house, this failed. Well, you're telling me your shortfalls. You're telling me what you wish you knew better. It's all about personal responsibility. Right. You know, I say this in my head once in a while. JFK asked not what your country could do for you, what you could do for your country. Don't ask what the government can do for you. Ask what you can do for yourself to
prepare
help
yourself.
Out. So all the things that you wish that you had, fix it.
Right.
You know, just it's not that expensive. And you can do it over a time. Now, of course, with there's hurricanes out there right now, everybody's going to scramble and go buy milk and bread. Right. But you can do this over a long period of time just to make sure that you don't go without the things that you sorely missed last year for 10, 12, 14 days.
And looking back at those videos we just played, it's just, it's wild to see that. And we've come so far from that day.
Yes, ma'am.
Why is it so important to have those supplies like water and fuel and some backup power on hand in case of a storm? I know we're preparing right now for another storm.
Yes, ma'am.
Why is it important to do that?
Well, because you don't want to go out into the fray as the emergency responders and the cleanup is out there. And we had a lot of that last year. There were so many folks driving around. I've been driving around for 3 days to find gas. Well, how about stay home for 3 days, and then when the gas is readily available, and I get it, everybody's chomping at the bit to get out, or they need food, you know, all kinds of different things. But if you're just a little bit prepared, and you're not going to have steak dinners every night, but you can get, you know, we brought on Pop-Tarts before, and Spam, and different things, or cook on your grill.
Spam is good.
Yeah, Spam. I forgot to bring you your annual can this year. I'm
sorry.
Come on.
Spam now.
Yeah.
But we've got some things here for people to be weather prepared. Can we talk about what's on the table?
Sure. That was one of the the issues last year. You know, cell phones went down. 99.8% of the county was without power. So, you know, you have a backup weather radio. That one's a hand crank weather radio on the far right there. And it's how are you going to get messaging? And the information that comes through on the weather radio isn't from us. It's actually from the National Weather Service. And they're going to keep you updated when the storm has passed. Because, you know, a lot of times when the eye of the hurricane, like it did last year, people thought that it might have been over. You remember there was a calm in the middle.
Exactly.
And then holy smokes, here's what happens. We get a little bit more, you know, 2 more hours of storm, so we don't want people going out. The weather radio is going to tell you. And then the other thing I have here is a halo. I've brought these on before, Cliff.
Right, yeah.
You know, my dad jumped his truck a half a dozen times off of one of these. It has that much power. It can run
These
your
are
computer.
literal lifesavers.
They really are.
I'm gonna
It
get
can
one.
power lamps around the house, you know, little cookers, anything, even if you have a, you know, some sort of an oxygen machine for just a short amount of time. But, you know, for those medical issues, I really highly recommend getting some sort of generator or alternate power.
We've got to run out here. We're running out of time, but real quick, the big takeaway that you really want to slam to everybody that's watching right now.
Just be in a position that you don't have to ask for something, because as you noticed last year, if you dialed 911, people couldn't get to you for 3 to 5 days. You have to be able to function at home for 3 to 5 days when something like this big happens.
Be prepared, because it'll come back at some point.
And we never know what could happen. So it's just best to be safe rather than sorry.
And I had to throw my shout out. Hi, Peanut.
Columbia County EMA Director Shawn Granato. Shawn, great to see you.
Yeah, thank
and
you.
thanks to Bill back there in the back as well, too. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Bill.
For all the good